Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to MaxSpeedTV, where qualifying is just now getting underway. The first car is taking the green flag. That is Eric Hutton. He's the first car out on the track for us tonight. And I'll tell you what, we're here with the Virtual Racing League presented by MaxSpeedTV. And in the booth with me is a good friend of mine. His name is Joshua Medlock. Say hello, Josh.
Yeah, KR, man, good to be here, bud. Here, man, Cups of Atlanta, man, gonna be some slick conditions here tonight, but should be a good race.
Should be a great race. We are here at Atlanta for 90 laps. It's gonna be a slipping and sliding 90 laps, and I'll tell you, I'm really excited for it. That is not what I meant to hit. That is what I wanted to hit. There you go. There's our names. We are part of the MaxSpeedTV crew, and we love doing this broadcasting stuff. And we got popped at the last minute to join these guys here in the Virtual Racing League. And so that's what we're doing. We are here at Atlanta. But before we go any further, we got some things to clear up. This is brought to you by SimSpeedShop.com. They make some great sim speed gear. So if you get the chance, check them out at SimSpeedShop.com. Also, HRE Motorsports.com. That's a iRacing team that helps us out here at MaxSpeedTV, along with Elite 7 Racing. You can find them on Facebook. Let's not forget Virtual2Reality.tv, doing some great things on the dirt side of iRacing. Really looking forward to what they're capable of doing and what's coming forward from here on out. And also Dirt Co. Media House, again doing some wonderful stuff, putting out some great sponsorship for iRacing dirt side of thing. And then finally, Ohio IndyCar League. That is a IndyCar league based out of Ohio, so if you're interested in joining an IndyCar league, check out the Ohio IndyCar League. And that'll wrap that up. So, Josh, give us a little breakdown of what you're seeing so far in practice and qualifying.
Well, I got in here at practice, and they were doing some sliding, so we know the conditions here at Atlanta are not the most favorite for these Cup cars, as they have a lot of power behind, underneath the hoods there. Seen a lot of them out there, get loose off the corners. So that's going to have to something to watch out there, as they do, get up to speed. Tire wear going to play an exceptional role here tonight. As usual, Atlanta is really, really bad about using up those tires. Track conditions, the track temp, 97 degrees Fahrenheit. It's hot, but it's not as hot as it could be. I've seen guys race at 114, 117 degree track temperatures at Atlanta, a combination with the way the track already is. Yeah, man, it makes for some slick conditions. And, I'm seeing them get a little loose. So it's going to be interesting to watch to see how they maintain their car and how well they save their tires.
Well, right now, Gabe Blaisdell is on the pole with a quick time of a 30.293. In second place, and we're watching, is Mark Emerson. He's holding on to second with a 30.301. So about a half a minute for a lap time. These guys are getting around pretty fast here at Atlanta.
Yeah, they are. They're getting around here really, really fast. Of course, they're out here. It's single car qualifying, so they don't have everybody out here at one time for open qual. They're out here by themselves. They can do their lap, get the fastest time they can put in here, and get a good grid or a good start at this race. Now, when the race starts, there's going to be I'm seeing right now. Oh, golly, there's a lot of vehicles out there. So, it's going to be interesting to see how they race around each other and how close they get, what type of moves they make. They have, 90 laps to do this in, but it's going to be fun.
We're doing Atlanta 90 laps. Qualifying has come to an end. And that means we are moving on straight in to the race. And as they take to the grid now, we can run through the grid real quick. And on row 1, front row, Gabe Blaisdell and Mark Emerson. Row 2, Eric Hutton and Dale Knott. Row 3, Eli Hinton and Josh Rodden. Row 4 of the HRE Motorsports gridding is Michael Blanton and Andrew Schrimmer. Dominic Lee and William Vanalestein make up row 5. Josh, you want to take over from here?
Yeah, I sure can. Row 6 will be Timothy Cook in 11th and Steve Turner in 12th. Row 7, Tanner Webb and David Mott Jr. will take that row. Row 7, yes. I'm losing it. Bob Cunningham will be starting 15th. John Rodney in 16th. Andrew Teleganoff will start 17th. Ricky Wall in 18th. Terry Silvers will be starting 19th, and Eddie Trejo, I think that's how you pronounce his name, not entirely sure, will be starting in the 20th spot. Jordan Ashland will be starting 21st. Richard Murtaugh Jr. 23rd, and Noel Sawyer will round out the field in 22nd. Oh, wow, it flipped him.
That was pretty crazy.
Yeah, Richard Murtaugh Jr. will actually be starting 23rd, and Noel Sawyer will be starting 22nd. So, yeah, it flipped him for some reason.
I don't think Murtaugh took to the grid.
Yeah, I'm not seeing him on the grid. I do see Noel out there, so Noel will be starting in the 22nd spot. Richard may start on pit road.
It's very possible here as the pace car is now starting to pull away. So we're getting ready to do our 1 lap pace lap, and like we said, on the front row is going to be that 30 more machine of Gabe Blaisdell and the 22 on his outside of Mark Emerson. So, you know, here at Atlanta, one of the things that you got to be always planning on is a little bit of tire conservation. So, what do you think, Josh? How would you say that, what would be your plan here? You got 90 laps, are you going to go gung-ho for as long as you can, or are you going to hold back a little bit?
Well, I would say we know after about 10 to 12, 15 laps or so, you really feel those tires starting to fall off. They make their way up to 3, they'll be getting the green flag in a little bit. But, you've got to be patient. I say conserve your tires for as long as you can, because you're going to get the pit. You're going to have to pit for tires. Save what you can and, try to make your way back up front.
All right, well, pace car getting ready to pull off. Here we go for 90 laps. Hold on tight, folks. Here we go. The Southern Spoon 135 is underway.
Yes, sir. And Gabe Blaisdell he got a good jump on that start right there. And looks like if he can hold it, he's going to lead the first lap here.
We've got one in the wall down the backstretch. Not sure who that was. But no caution, we're going to keep going. First lap turned complete. And here we go. I'll tell you what, Gabe getting a little bit of a gap here. Mark and Eric fighting for second, but these guys got single file pretty quick.
Yeah, getting single file is probably a key here at Atlanta. Knock some of these laps down. Get them out of the way. Just be patient, be conservative, as we see some of these guys do. And they may be willing and dealing down there on the track right now, but in the back of their mind they're thinking, okay, I've got to save some of my tires. Because most of this field now, from front to back, is just single file.
Yeah, they're getting single file here early. The tires are fresh, the track is fresh, everyone's running near to max speed, and they don't want to, use up any of their, give up any of their speed or position on the track by not trying to run this bottom.
Yes, sir. You know, I'm sitting here watching these guys make their way around the track. Not a whole lot of battles yet going on. Of course, it's still early. You know, we've got one back here, you know, kind of brewing up as these guys are making their way going into 4. Looks like a battle going on between the 62 of William Van Alstyne and the number 69 of Justin Roden, as the 62 will take that position away from him.
Here we are trying to go with the 62 William Van Alstyne. Get a look at him here. But back up front is Gabe Blaisdell. He's led every lap so far.
He has, you know, he's up here on a mission to lead the most laps and to win this race. Of course, not far behind him is Eric Hudson. I mean, he's a pretty good distance behind him. But you know, KR, it's still a long race for these guys, man. Anything can happen, and as their tires wear down, you're going to see them get a little squirrely. The times are going to be a lot slower than they are on newer tires. So on the first pit stop when they get it, it's going to be interesting to see who pits and when, because the timing on pit road is going to be key. As I'm going to look here at the number 24 of Michael Blayton back here, running currently into the 5th spot, trying to get around Eli Hampton, who is on the outside of him, coming out, going into 3, coming out of 4 on the front stretch.
The 24 making a move down to the inside here on the front stretch goes, completing the pass. So put Michael Blayton up to 4th spot, Eli Hinton back to 5th. You know, another thing that I'm noticing here throughout this field is all the cars are, you know, we got a few battles here and there, but for the most part, everyone's kind of tucked in, single file, look to be logging a lot of laps right now. And maybe some people are decided that this is going to be a long green flag run and want to try and save their tires for the end of the run here.
Yes, sir. You know, and that could be, you know, the key too. We don't know exactly what they're thinking, you know, down there on the track that's going off there. But Eddie Trejo, looks like he did not start the race at all either.
I got him scored as 3 laps down, so it did a few laps, but something happened to him, and he is pulled it behind the wall. But Richard Murtaugh did not. Andrew Telnoff and Ricky Wall, I believe, are our admins for this race. Michael Blayton moving through the field here, looking to make another pass on the 22 of Mark Emerson. Emerson started front row outside, losing a little bit of ground here early on. Falling to the clutches of the 24 machine. Both going to tuck in here, go single file, both running the high line. Emerson going way up high, washing up a little bit, but going to get a good run down this backstretch here.
He got an excellent run coming out of that corner on the backstretch, and it looks like Michael Blayton in the number 24 machine kind of tapped the wall there and is looking onto the inside of the number 22.
Now he's going to make a move here through that front stretch with a great pass there, and he is going to pull along Eli Hinton with him, so Mark Emerson's going to lose 2 spots in 1 straightaway. Ooh, and looked like Emerson got into the wall, but maybe a little bit of net code there. Can't tell for sure yet.
Eddie Trejo had a foot fell to unacceptable level, but he has reconnected here at Atlanta.
Looking through the rest of the field here, getting on the, got some 2, 3, 4, 5 cars right there, all kind of running side by side. That's Jordan Ashland and the 27 machine, the 28 machine of Timothy Cook, the 44 of Dominic Lee, way up high there.
Number 23 of Timothy Cook is looking to make some moves on that low side. Kind of washing up a little bit. Oh, you don't want to get too close to the 27, but whoa, good save. He started to wash up, and I bet he had to let off the gas a little bit just to get that car straightened back out, because he was really, really close to the 27 machine of Jordan Ashland.
And Mark Emerson is in trouble here, losing spots on, and he is way, way off the pace. Has some heavy, heavy damage to his car here. So our front row outside driver in trouble here early, making an unscheduled pit stop with some heavy damage, extensive damage to that left side of his car. But back up front, Gabe Bladesdale and Eric Hutton holding on to first and second here. These two got a bit of a gap now over third place Michael Blayton. And they're just kind of running out by themselves, turning some steady, consistent laps.
Yes, they are. You know, they're just knocking them down. And, you know, that's what you got to do. You know, you got to get that clean air. Keep that clean air, as the number 34 of Gabe Bladesdale is in clean air. But he's got the 88 of Eric Hutton right there with him. And they're not really making moves on each other. You know, they're driving pretty much the same line as they go into 3. You can see the 88 kind of mirror drive the 34. And that's pretty much what you got to do here at Atlanta. Mirror drive and then make your moves.
You know, one of the other things you have to do at Atlanta is just kind of take your time and be very careful and pick your poison, so to speak, of when to make your move. So these top 2 cars still out front. No cautions so far. We have had a few cars get into some trouble here a little early, but overall nobody has really had too many issues, and been a pretty smooth 20 laps of 90 so far. Checking in now on the 10 car of Dale Knott. And Dale's pulling in to, wow, what's going on with Dale? Lap 20, he's pulling into pit road here. A lot of cars coming to pit road.
This could be the first round of pit stops. You know, these tires, they really wear down rather quickly here at Atlanta, especially in these Cup cars. As I was saying before, you know, they've got some mighty big power underneath the hood, and they may be on a different strategy here, pitting, you know, as they come. Of course, I do not know what the fuel mileage, you know, they had the fuel actually set to, so I don't know what their percent is on how many, you know, laps they can go on a tank.
No, I'm not quite sure what their lap percentage is either, or fuel percentage is, how many laps they can do. But I do believe that these guys are doing a little bit of short pitting, as our leader is still out front and doesn't show any signs of pitting. Yes,
sir. Gabe Bladesdale still hammering it down out here. He has led, I think, all of the laps so far.
Gabe Blaisdell has led all of the laps, all 22 that have been completed. We're on lap 23, but first time he's got some heavy pressure now. He's got the 88 machine of Eric Hutton looking to his inside. There's more cars making pit road stops here. That's going to let these guys who short pitted really close up on these two front runners when everything cycles through. So these guys out front have got some you know, a little bit of gambling going on, hoping for a caution, and probably losing some time to those who have taken the tires already. What do you think, Josh?
I think these guys up here in front, Eric Hutton, Gabe Blaisdell, they've got some work cut out for them. They may be trying to go half and then half again. Then again, they could be on a different total strategy. You know, keep driving the car until you can't drive it no more, and then pit. I'm not for sure exactly what their tires are going to look like by the time they pit, but I'm sure that it's not going to be very pretty. But yeah, Eric Hutton and Gabe Blaisdell is going to be, you know, in trouble once that whole thing cycles through.
Yeah, they're kind of shooting themselves here in the foot, trying to run as long as they are with everyone already making pit stops. But you know, at the same time, if the caution comes out, there's currently only 5 cars on the lead lap right now. So there's some strategy to it as Gabe Blaisdell is on pit road. Blaisdell here in the 34 machine making his pit stop. So, and as we talk about him, the 88 machine is on pit road now as well, Eric Hutton. So Eric's pitting from the lead, and we might see this thing cycling around in an entire green flag pit stop situation. So, you know, Gabe and Eric stayed out there for a while. We'll have to see how it plays out for them and how much ground they lost. So our new race leader is William Van Alstyne in the 62 machine. He is not pitted yet, neither is Dominique Lee, although Dominique Lee in the 44 machine sounds like he's working the throttle here, trying to run that high side, hoping for a caution at this point. These two cars have not pitted, and it looks like the 13 of Eli Hinton, one of the first cars on pit road, is going to assume the lead once William and Dominique make their pit stops. So that is very interesting in my opinion, how William in the 62 and Dominique in the 44 have not pitted yet. Strategy-wise, Josh, what do you think? How do you think that's going to work out for them?
Well, strategy-wise, it may play into effect later on in the race as they're coming to 30 lap. You know, going to be coming to 30 of 90 laps when William crosses the line. Excuse me, folks. And it looks like William Van Alstyne is coming down pit road as we speak. So he is going to make his first pit stop when he crosses the line. It'll be on lap 30. So that's going to leave Dominique Lee, and Dominique Lee is coming in as well. So, you know, these two guys coming in at the exact same time almost will give the lead up to, like you were saying earlier, Eli Hinton. But William Van Alstyne and Dominique Lee is going to have brand new tires, you know, newer than everybody else. That may play into a bigger role toward the end of the race. You know, are they going to have to, I'm sure they're going to have to pit at least one more time. Are they, you know, when are they going to pit to hopefully come out with the win tonight? But it's still anybody's race, KR. You know, they've got 60 laps to go. So it's going to be interesting.
It is going to be interesting, but Eli Hinton has the lead, and now he's got a 4-second lead over Gabe Blaisdell. So, you know, that early pit that he did has really paid off well for him. He's assumed the lead, and he's opened up a large gap in doing so as well. We're going to go on board with Hinton here. We are on board with Eli Hinton. Get a good feel of what it's like to turn some laps here at Atlanta. You just dive off into turn one, and I'm always terrified here at Atlanta. I get the feeling that this thing just isn't going to turn, but it always seems to work itself out.
Yes,
Josh,
it does.
you ever get a little worried when you go into turn one?
Oh yeah, every time I race here at Atlanta, even on new tires and a full tank of gas, it's nerve-wracking because, you know, the turns here at Atlanta are, you know, they're not as comfortable to go around like you would, you know, Daytona, Michigan, Charlotte even. I love Charlotte's turn one. It's fun. Atlanta, man, it's just slick, and the old, you know, concrete basically out there. It makes it for a good racing, but it makes you just tense up just even going around the corner.
Yeah, there's a lot of pucker factor here at Atlanta, and it's one of my favorite tracks in iRacing, mostly because there's a lot to it. There's a lot that you have to maintain and keep control of. And if you get out aggressive, you burn your stuff up, you burn your equipment up, and then the next thing you know, you're getting passed by everyone. But for a while, you felt like Superman.
Yeah, feeling like Superman is a good feeling, but that Superman can go away when you know, I speak of it time and time again. When those tires fall off, you ain't Superman no more.
You know, and a good example of that is Eli Hinton just got passed by the 69 machine of John Rodden. Rodden one lap down here. He's got 10 laps on his tires. Eli Hinton's got 14. So, you know, that's not a lot of laps. 4-lap difference. And here we see a bunch of cars on just a few lap pressure tires getting back by our leader and getting a lap back. So Dominic Lee in the 44 just got by. That is going to put 13 cars on the lead lap. And Gabe Bladesdale has caught up to Eli Hinton. And Eli now getting ready to lose the lead here to Gabe. Gabe doing a great job, led 22 laps so far. Hinton has led 6. And we have had no cautions. This whole race has been green flag. And I'll tell you, it's been pretty interesting seeing everyone make these pit stops, go through a full pit stop cycle, no cautions, no nothing. And Gabe and the 88 of Eric Hutton are kind of picking up right where they left off on before they went to these pit stops.
Yes, they are. They're picking them off one by one, as looks like the 34 of Gabe Bladesdale will make that pass on Eli Hinton. So Gabe will be back in first place, and Eric Hutton in the 88 will be right behind him, and that puts Eli Hinton back in the 3rd spot.
So Hinton losing some ground here, but he got to lead some laps, got that breath of fresh air, so to speak, and now he's got Michael Blanton behind him, about 2.5 seconds behind him, so he's got some breathing room. So, Josh, is there anything that you can see? Mark Emerson, our front row, outside, looks like he took a fast repair, got back out there. What do you think his chances are of getting back up to this front? You think he can do it? Do you think he's going to need 1 caution, 2 cautions?
Well, I believe Mark Emerson did use his reset, folks. They do here have 1 reset to use, and we have our first caution. Well, that was thrown by
race control through it. It is a stage. This was stage racing, lap 40. So stage 1 is over, and it looked like either Eric Hutton or Gabe won that. We completely bombed on that. I apologize. So the stage 1 is done. Lap 40, caution in the air, 40 lap for the first stage. And yeah, a little bit embarrassing.
Well, unfortunately, I did not know it was stage racing, folks. This is a brand new league. You know, we are broadcasting here on MaxSpeedTV. I'm just the co-commentator here. KR's the boss man up in the booth. He's the guy running the cameras.
So to everyone that's listening, what Josh has effectively done is thrown me under the bus, and he has every right to.
It's all right, KR, man. It's cool. We both did not know that. I mean, I know I didn't know it, but yeah. Speaking of the stage, though, it does look like Eric Hutton has won the first stage.
So winning the first stage has put him in a great spot, you know, and he's had a fast car, and it's taken him a minute. It seems like his car doesn't fire off as quick as Gabe Bladesdale does. But once it gets going, man, he starts coming on strong and is going to be really fast. So he's going to be one to watch here if we get into a long green flag run for this next part, especially towards the end of the race.
Yes, sir. And as they all come down pit road, get those Mr. Field Goods and a full tank of gas. You know, they're going to start this stage on all equal ground. You know, everybody's going to have the tires, everybody's going to have the fuel. So now is when you've got to look at it and say, okay, still a long race. You know, we still got some laps to put down. What do I need to do to keep my car up front? And what do I need to do to save enough tires if I can't pit to finish this race out a top 5, a top 3 podium finish, or maybe even a win here?
Yep, and you know, Gabe lost the spot on pit road there, so Eric's gonna come off first, Eli second, Gabe third, and then Michael Blanton fourth. Steve Turner will round out your top 5 after these pit stops here. So that'll put Eric Hutton and Eli Hinton on the front row for the restart here. The lap cars go to pit lane here, and that is going to clear the leaders to the pace car. And this race is going to get back underway with 45 laps to go, or give or take. So about at the halfway mark for when we get the green flag once again.
These guys have been knocking this race out. They have been racing cleanly. They've been doing what needs to be done to get this race, you know, underway, you know, clean, to show everybody that they know how to race. But here's the thing, KR, and you've seen it many times broadcasting, watching. You know that when it comes down to the final few laps, there's no going back. It's all or nothing at that point.
You know, when you get into the final stages of the race, all of your strategy, everything has to, you know, all your dominoes start falling. You stack your dominoes up, your strategy, you set everything up. And then as you come down to the end of the race, all those dominoes start falling. And you just got to hope that it falls in your direction. And, you know, like I'm saying, Eric Hutton, sorry, in the 88 has a great long run car. We went this first part of the race caution free. He wins the stage 1, and there were no cautions for the whole thing. So, you know, it took him a while to get to the front, including a green flag pit stop, but he managed to get there. And, you know, we could, why shouldn't we expect to see more of the same in the second part of this race, and watch this guy who's going to start up front this time and see what he's got. Maybe he made some changes, put some air pressure into it that caused it to be a little bit faster on the initial laps.
And that's a big possibility. Do you know if this league is a fixed or open set?
You know, I'm sure that I do know. but I don't have those notes with me right now.
Okay, all right. Well, all we can tell you is, at this point, is these guys, they're just wanting to get this race underway. They're wanting to get this race, get to the, you know, checkered flag, and, you know, possibly come out with a win here. Of course, we see that the 88 and the 13 is going to be side by side on this restart here.
Lights are out on the pace car, getting ready to pull in, and there it goes. And the green flag in the air. Once again, we're back racing. 88 getting a good jump. Gonna pull the 34 of Gabe Bladesdale along with him. Eli on that outside, gonna lose a spot here. And the caution comes right back out. The 62 machine looks wadded up on pit road. Do you know if he was... Looks like he's going to be the one that took the most damage here.
Yeah, as I go back and watch this real quick on the on here, and it looks like, see, the 62 started on the outside. That would be William Van Alstyne, and it look. Oh, I see what happened. The 38 gets into the wall, which sends him down, and catches the 62. And it was a chain reaction there. The 27 also involved in that incident.
So some big trouble here early in this second stage on that lap restart. Looks like the 62 is going to call it a night. Looks like he's gone behind the wall. So Michael Blayton here in the 24. We got to watch him make some moves. Hopefully he's going to get another shot at moving through the, continuing to move forward. Eli Hinton right in front of him in the 13 machine. And the guy who's led the most laps so far, Gabe Bladesdale, going to start on a front row outside for this restart. Nobody taking to pit lane or taking tires. But Eric Hutton had a great restart there. Did everything he needed to do. But the rest of the field, not so much. One car I want to touch base on, Mark Emerson in the 22 machine, currently sitting 8th place. He was our front row outside start of the race, got into some trouble, had to make a pit stop, had to get some damage repaired. And now here he is, not finishing, but running 8th place. So doing a good job at recovering. Still has lots of laps left, Josh, and he might be able to make his way all the way back up to the front.
Yes, he does. You know, and there is still, like you said, a lot of laps yet to go here. They have had one caution, the yellow flag that was thrown at to end the stage. That does not count for a caution per se. So, you know, he can do it. You know, he's got a lot of laps to work with. You know, as we know, cautions sometimes breed other cautions. Let's hope that doesn't happen, but it could, and they've got to be aware of that. And I'm sure he is wanting to bank on those cautions if they do come out.
You know, cautions are kind of like a double-edged sword. He's going to need them to punch the field back up, but at the same time, they limit the amount of laps that he has left at his disposal to make some moves and make his way back up to the front here.
Yes, sir. You've got that right.
So anyways, we're back under caution. We had a bit of a mix-up here with the 62 machine of William Van Alstyne. Him and another car got into a little bit of a discussion about where they were going to run on the track, and that has put William Van Alstyne out of the race. He has gone behind the wall. So,
oh man,
yeah, right now we got 14 cars on the lead lap, and the last car on the lead lap is John Rodden. And we saw John fight tooth and nail to get by Eli Hinton when Eli was leading, and he has got his lap back. He's back on the lead lap. So that move there really was kind of important.
Yes, it was. Sure was. You know, getting the lap back, getting on the lead lap, and hopefully, you know, making some moves as, you know, they come around turn 2 onto the backstretch here. It looks like Eric Hutton, Gabe Bladesdell, the 88 and the 34 will go side by side yet again on this restart. So it's going to be interesting to see how they get, you know, off on this restart. Hopefully it's a clean restart for these guys, and they can continue to knock out the race like they have been under green flag.
Yeah, we're going to have to see how this is going to go. I really like the way that Eric Hutton's car is performing. And I think this guy's going to be one to watch here for the rest of the race. And Gabe's not going to be no slouch either. Gabe still is holding on to the most laps led. So pace car pulling off, green flag in the air. Here we go. Eric doing a great job of getting a wonderful restart. Gets a big gap on the field here. Eli is going to slide into second. Gabe dropping back to third this time. So that outside line, that's 2 restarts in a row we've seen where that outside line just does not get going.
Outside line here at Atlanta Motor Speedway is, unless you know how to keep that car down, or really away from the wall, down away from the wall on that outside, very, very tricky track up high like that. Preferred lane here at Atlanta is usually around that white line on the low side to mid-range, say the second groove or the second line per se. But you know, you can see the rubber that they have laid down, not only in practice but qualifying as well. So there is rubber out there to kind of, I don't know per se help, because it, you know, a lot of rubber sometimes helps, sometimes doesn't. So but there's a battle right back here for third place is the 24 and the 24 and the, looks like the 34 of Gabe Bladesdell gets involved in a wreck. Gabe comes right back up on the track, and the 27 of Jordan Ashland had nowhere to go.
So some big time damage here. We were catching most of that live. Gabe on the outside here. The 24 machine on the inside. Gabe gets in the outside wall, gets into the 24 of Michael Blanton. Michael's spinning onto the track here. Heavy damage to his car. And unfortunately, like you said, the 27 got involved to it as well. The 41 looks like he's got damage. So big time accident for 4 or 5 cars right here.
Jordan Ashland is sitting on pit road. I do believe he had to take a tow. He's got some heavy damage on that machine as well after hitting the number 41. He just could not go anywhere. He rolled down to the track, you know, after that accident, and it got off of the racing surface and towed it to pit road. So heavy damage on the 27 machine of Jordan Ashland.
All right, so our leaders are on pit road right now, getting their tires, their fuel. You know, they should have enough fuel to make it at least another 20 laps.
Around lap 74, roughly, depending on, you know, when they get the green flag. And, you know, going to be interesting to see who saves tires and saves fuel.
Going to be interesting for sure who can save what. You know, like I said, we're on lap 54 here. And the thing about Atlanta is, like I mentioned it earlier, you can drive the wheels off of it early in your run, but you're going to pay for it if you get a long green flag run. So our first stage went caution free. Our next stage has had 2 cautions right in a row right here. So it kind of throws the drivers for a little bit of a curve, makes them wonder what they should do. Josh, if you're out there, what's your plan of attack?
My plan of attack at this point would, you know, if I don't have any damage on my car, or I have a reset left, or, you know, I've already got, you know, new tires and, you know, the fuel that I need, my plan is to ride it out, see what happens, because, you know, I'm a realist. I mean, especially when it comes to a track like this, I'm gonna bank on another caution. I'm gonna bank on, you know, someone getting a little aggressive or trying to make a move and, you know, either spinning out, or I believe there's going to be another caution. So me personally, I would ride, you know, back a little ways. Hopefully that I'm not in, you know, caught up in the wreck and I can get slowed down or dodge it. You know, wait until, you know, 20 to go roughly, you know, 15, 20 to go roughly. Make sure I've got still good tires on there, and, you know, at that point, just hammer it down and hope for the best. And that would be my plan.
So the 69 machine of Justin Rodden scored as our leader. He did not make a pit stop on that time. He's on 11 lap tires right now, compared to everyone else who has pitted under this caution. So it's going to be interesting to see if he's going to be able to hold on to this and do a great job, or is he going to lose a lot of ground here? He's making a little bit of a gamble here at Atlanta. So Justin going to form up, or the field forming up on Justin here. And that's going to put Eric Hutton on the outside of row 1. Eli Hinton going to slide into the 3rd. That's going to give Terry Silver's 2nd row outside. Terry's a car we haven't got to talk about here. Terry sitting in 2nd row outside. We've seen that outside lane suffer here a little bit on the restarts, but I feel the inside lane is going to suffer just as much now, as Justin is on you know, a little bit older tires, so he might not be able to take off as fast as he would like.
It's going to be interesting to see what this restart is, and it looks like some were given, you know, some penalties brought out. I'm seeing in the chat here, Noel Sawyer was given an EOL.
All right, here we go. Green flag in the air once again. Justin getting a good restart. Spins his tires right in front of the leader. No caution. So just as I feared, Justin trying to get all the power down, unable to do so. The 88 machine of Eric Hutton had nowhere to go, but Eli Hinton's going to assume the lead here. And Justin Rodden, with some extensive damage to his car, went from front of the pack to last car in the lead lap.
And it all happened within a few seconds. It did not take long for Justin Rodden to get back into you know, back in 13th roughly. And, you know, tires. We've said it many times, KR. Tires. That is the key. Is tires, tires, tires.
Tires are very important here in Atlanta. Justin, you know, he didn't really do anything horribly wrong in his gamble. It really paid off. You get some fresh air, you get out in that clean air, you get good track position. But unfortunately for him, he just was unable to do anything with that restart, and it's cost him dearly. Meanwhile, Eric Hutton has recovered from that and slotted into 2nd place right now.
Yep, that 88 machine is slotted into 2nd place, but Eli Hinton has got a good lead on Eric, but Terry Silver, Steven Turner, Mark Emerson, they're all right here racing it up together. You know, the harder they race, though, the further Eli Hinton gets ahead of them, and they've got to know that.
Yep, Hutton here's got some pretty good damage on the front end of his car. And he's getting passed right now by Terry Silvers as we are on board with Hutton with our T&D Rustic Decor camera. But now Hutton losing a lot of ground here. And Gabe is back up in there. Gabe, who we saw take a big time spin, big car pileup not too long ago, here he is inside the top 5.
And we got a battle back here between the number 88 and the number 34, which the 34 made the pass. That would be Gabe Blaisdell. Now on the outside of the 88, it looks like it would be the number 26, Steven Turner. He's going to try to make that pass onto the outside on the double 88, but he has not fully cleared him, and it looks like he has made that pass.
So Steven Turner gotten around him, score him in the top 5. Eric Hutton losing a lot of ground now with all that damage on the nose of his car. So Hutton hoping for a caution here to try and drop back into pit lane. Hopefully he's got a quick repair, can get that nose fixed and get back out there. But right now he's suffering big time with that damage.
Yes, he is. You know, damage here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. You know, the thing about here is, you know, you don't want it to knock out that steering. You know, you need that steering here at Atlanta. And also, you don't want that vehicle to get too hot, especially, you know, if you've got damage. And it looks like I don't know if I think I've seen a little bit of smoke coming off them cars. I think somebody was just wheeling and dealing on them tires, and they're three wide back here, almost 3 wide. The 22, the 26, and the 38 of Anders Schmeier. Yeah, they were just battling up back here for 4th, 5th, and 6th.
So the 22, 38 side by side here. The 22, I saw him get into the wall again. Mark Emerson has made it into the top 5. He's working his way through the field after having some extensive damage and having to make an unscheduled pit stop. He's broke into the top 5, but it looked like he got into the wall once again. So his car's got that right front damaged again. And he's got to do what he can here to try and keep this clean. He's kind of looking like he's stuck on the outside line here and not too happy about it. So the 38 machine currently in 4th place. Hopefully he does not eat a Tide Pod while driving in this car. That would be, oh, we got one sideways. Michael Blanton in the 24 machine.
Michael Blanton in the 24, yes sir, coming around turn 3, and it looks like he got hit by the 28, and the 28 just spun him around. The 28 of Timothy Cook just got into him and spun him around.
Product of close racing. These guys getting into some trouble here early. I should say it's no longer early on lap 67 of 90. So doesn't look like a whole lot of damage on the 24. A little bit of bumper caved in on the back, but I didn't really see him hit anything. Just a good spin and locked everything down. And meanwhile, everyone's back on pit road. A lot of drivers pitting here. Almost every car in the lead lap has decided to make a pit stop. Here we go, race off pit road underway. It looks like Eli Hinton was the first one off pit road.
Eli Hinton in the number 13 machine will win that race off of pit road. And I think it's the number 23. Am I looking at that correctly? Terry Silvers will be coming in second.
Terry looks to be scored second, followed by Gabe Bladesdale in third. So Terry, who we mentioned before this last caution in our previous restart, looking like one to keep an eye on here as he's slowly working his way one at a time up to the front. So Eli Hinton led 18 laps so far, and now make it 19. Doing a great job at leading some laps here. Bladesdale still on top of the charts with the most laps led with 23, but you know, Eli Hinton's going to be the one that looks to be challenging him for that now.
Yes, it is. You know, and another thing, they're going to be coming to lap 70, which will be 20 laps when they cross the checkered flag, or when they cross the stripe. Right now they're currently on the backstretch, but when they cross the stripe, it'll be lap 70. I believe they will get the green flag on lap 71, which will leave 19 laps remaining here at Atlanta.
Checking in on Eric Hutton. Looks like he did get to use a fast repair. One of the drivers I'm keeping an eye on here for this race got his damage fixed, got back out there. He's currently in 8th place. So, gonna be watching where he winds up for this. I would be looking for him to make a move, be making moves, and get that car back up into the front row. Eli Hinton once again leading another lap. Field's starting to form up, and the lights have gone out on the pace car, so here we go one more time around before we take to the green flag. So Eli on the front row, Terry Silvers front row outside. So these outside line has not yet been able to get a good move and be able to accelerate in a timely fashion. That's my prediction is it's going to be Eli Hinton and Gabe Bladesdale 1 and 2 by the time they get into turn 1.
Yes, sir, and it's going to be very interesting, too, because starting in the 3rd spot right here on this restart will be the 34 of Gabe Bladesdale, with Andrew Schmeier on the outside of him, and Steven Turner in the 26 going to be starting in the 5th spot. So, you know, that outside line has not been able to get going. It's going to be interesting now to see if that outside line decides, hey, enough's enough, and let's get a good restart here.
It's going to be interesting to see if they can get it done this time. So far, everyone's been able to not.
Green flag, green flag.
And here we go, green flag in the air. Eli getting a great start. Terry Silvers kind of falling dead even with Gabe here as they dive off into turn 1. Gabe on the inside. He is going to get by Terry. So Terry's going to drop into 3rd place now.
I was watching Terry Silvers on that restart, and it looked like he spun his back tires, got a little squirrely, got it straightened up, no caution. And he is, you know, currently now running into the 3rd position as the, looks like the 38 of Andrew Schmeier will be currently in the 4th spot.
4th spot held on by the 38 machine. But already in 5th place is the 88 of Eric Hutton. Eric Hutton, you know, one that we've been watching. Here he goes, making a move to the inside. He wants 4th place, and it looks like he might be able to pull it off here. Getting a good run through the middle of the corner and powering down that front stretch.
Well, I don't think you could have put a piece of paper between the 88 and the 38 right there as close as they was, as the 88 is still on that low side, trying to get around Andrew, who's on the high side, keeping almost dead even with him. And you can see him getting a little squirrely there of that 88 machine.
Eric Hutton trying to get the power down, trying to get a good run, but you know, it's very hard to pass on the bottom side in 1 and 2 on fresh tires when everyone's running just as fast as they can. And the cars are almost wide open there. So you got to do all you can. So here we go. Once again, he's trying to the inside. This time not as squirrely, getting his car nice and straight. But that outside line, Andrew Schreimer doing a great job, getting a great run on that outside line. When I run Atlanta, I love that high side. I can make it work. I may not be the fastest car, but I put that car on the outside line. It really causes the inside line to not be able to come off the corner as strong as they would like. And you can hold up somebody for a few laps. So if you're getting down to the end of the race and you got just a few laps to go, man, hold that thing on the outside, hope for the best. And that is exactly what Andrew is doing. I would say that the 88 machine, Eric Hutton's a little bit better, but Andrew's working that outside line perfectly well. Meanwhile, these two are catching up to third place of Terry Silvers.
Yes, they are. And of course, as they battle back here, back up front, though, the 34 is making a move. The 34 of Gabe Bladesdale is trying to make a move on Eli Hinton, who is currently in the first spot. But here comes Gabe, diving it to the inside, trying to make that pass. And if he can get around him, he'll clear it. But that 13 machine is fighting hard on that outside.
13 fighting hard, doing everything I just said. If you're going to lose a spot, try and hold that outside line. But Gabe Bladesdale has just been perfect on that bottom. He's going to be very tough to keep. Oh, once again, contact. Gabe's going to save it, but he's going to lose a lot of ground. A lot of ground lost here by Gabe.
Yes, he did. It looks like Gabe kind of washed up just a little bit, just enough to get it in, get into Eli. But Gabe is still riding in third, so he didn't lose a whole lot, but he did lose a position.
He's lost some ground, but not to worry. We still have quite a few laps left. Eric Hutton, though, looking to make a move here on the inside now. Eric Hutton, once again, had that damage earlier on from a restart mishap. Lost a lot of positions on the track, got his damage fixed with this most recent caution. And here he is, working his way to the front in fourth place. '38 machine of Andrew Schmier. I have received confirmation on how to pronounce his name, Andrew Schmier. So that's how we're going to say it from here on out.
Andrew Schmier. All right. That sounds good.
All right, back up front, Eli Hinton doing a great job. So far, he's led the most laps. He's got 29 laps led. Terry Silvers holding on to second place. But Eric Hutton and Gabe Bladesdale side by side down the backstretch. These two fighting it out. Some of our strongest cars right here in third and fourth place. And it looks like Eric Hutton's going to be able to power up. Not as well as I thought he was, as Gabe did a great job getting a good run on that outside line. Gabe now way up high. You know, and the thing about iRacing, we've got dynamic tracks here in iRacing. Ooh, one loses it coming out of turn 2. But we got dynamic tracks here in iRacing. And what that means is, as you do laps, again and again, you run over the same part of the track. That part of the track heats up from the friction from the tires. And so what you see is you start seeing drivers start searching around late into a race. As we got 9 laps to go. Gabe has ventured into a high line that he's really kind of higher than everyone else, but Eric Hutton is gonna just make a move on the inside here. Terry Silvers looked to hold up Gabe a little bit. Now Gabe looking to make it 3 wide, thinks a little bit better of it, is gonna tuck in. But Gabe was trying to make that high side work, trying to find a little bit cooler section of track to run that maybe had a little bit more grip and would be a little bit faster.
Oh, and we've got one right off into the, almost lost it there. I'm not for sure exactly who that was, but no caution.
Andrew Schmier held on to it very nicely, but he lost some ground here, holding on to the 5th spot. But Steven Turner, his eyes are looking hungry. Steven Turner thinking about a top 5 here. He's got to keep gaining on Andrew Schmier. And these cars, they got 16 laps on their tires right now. Now everyone's starting to feel the tire burn a little bit.
The yellow flag is
And the
out.
caution is out. And Tim Cook is in trouble here. Tim Cook looked to have got himself some damage. We're going to figure out what he did to do it. Lost it coming out of turn 2 just as I was talking about some tire burn, some tire wear. Oh, and then he stuck it in the wall. Instantly stopped. So he come out of turn 2, tagged the wall all the way down to the inside wall, and then back into the outside wall. So what a crazy incident for him, getting stuck in the wall. But fortunately everyone behind him was able to miss him, and only a 1-car incident. That's going to set this up for some interesting strategy, because there's not going to be but 1 or 2 laps of green flag, come to take tires or not. So here we go. Leaders are taking tires.
Yeah, you have to take tires. I mean, you've got to finish this race, you know, with good tires. I know you're probably going to get a restart here with, like I said, 1 to 2 to go. You know, it's game on. I mean, everything you've done or tried is out the window now. Get your tires since you're under caution. You know you're going to get back green. Get your fuel, enough fuel. I just fill the thing up. That way you know you have it. And get back out there and shoot for the stars. You know, if you're starting 5th, 6th, just hammer it down and keep going. As you see the 22, he just hammer it down coming off a pit road, got sideways, and it looks like the 22 of Mark Emerson will be coming off in 2nd place.
All right, so a big shakeup here in the field. Dominic Lee did not make a pit stop. He has stayed out. He took a big gamble doing this, but he was way back in the pack. If he can hold on to these tires here, not mess up on the restart, I don't think he's going to be able to win this race. Tires are way too important. But if he can hold on for just a few laps, he might end up gaining quite a few spots from where he was before this yellow came out.
Yeah, everybody behind Michael is going to have brand new tires, or behind the 44 of Dominic Lee is going to have brand new tires. Michael Blayton, Mark Emerson, Gabe Bladesdell, Terry Silvers, all these guys, they have brand new tires. So what does the 44 of Dominic Lee have to do to keep them behind him and not spin his tires on this restart? Just get a good clean restart and stay up front for the final laps. I believe there will probably be 2 or 3 to go, roughly, when they get the restart. We'll see when they cross the line, though, folks.
So our lap leaders, Eli Hinton has led 35 laps, Gabe Bladesdale 24, Eric Hutton 18. Our main lap leaders, they're not in the top 3. Gabe is in 4th, Eli is 6th, and Eric Hutton all the way into 8th place. So this caution really shook everything up. I'm shook. The field is shook. Everything is shook. Get woke. Here we go. Dominic Lee in the 44. 18, 19 lap hold tires. That inside line is, man, I feel for him, because this isn't going to go very well. We watched Justin Rodden stay out on 11 lap tires and have a bad restart. So hopefully Dominic Lee will be able to do a good job here. But, man, I don't know. Atlanta's hard on tires. It's going to be very hard for Dominic to get a great restart here.
Yes, it is. I mean, he's got some old tires there. Everybody behind him has fresh tires. They got the gas. Dominic Lee's going to have to pull something out right now on this restart. When they get that green flag, it'll be 2 to go when they cross the line. So they're only going to have a 2-lap shootout here. And Dominic's going to have to keep it in gear, keep his, focus, and just save what he can, but also be aggressive here up front in the 44 machine.
Yep. As I completely agree with everything you're saying. Dominic has to be smart. He has to realize he's not going to be as fast as the guys that are on these fresh tires. If he can play it smart, his pace car pulls off. He's got a chance here, but all comes down to it. Green flag in the air, and he spins. Oh, no. Big time trouble. All the front runners. Big time trouble here.
I am sure that is not what everybody wanted to see. And unfortunately, that'll end the race there.
It will end the race. We're going to finish this race under caution. And it looks like Mark Emerson, I got him scored as our leader, followed by Tanner Webb, a car we haven't talked about at all this race, the 16 machine. A lot of damage here. The 16 is damaged, the 21 is damaged, the 13, car after car is damaged. And these guys are waiting for the pace car to roll around.
We're gonna have to stop on the track, I do believe. I don't know exactly what they're gonna do. I believe they're either catching the pace car or just waiting for it to fly around. But they're gonna cross the line right there, and the white flag will be in the air, folks.
So white flag in the air, pace car making its way around. Still have Mark Emerson as the leader, but he's not doing a good job of waiting for the pace car. The 26 machine is Steven Turner's first car behind the pace car. We got cars dropping to the inside line here, taking their time. They better figure this out quick, because you know what, iRacing doesn't care where you finish. If you're not in position, you're gonna get a black flag.
Yeah,
these two up front,
got that right.
They're already off into turn 3. They are not waiting for the pace car. If they're out of position crossing that start finish line, they're gonna get a black flag. So here we go, Mark Emerson gonna cross the finish line here. Toe to toe, who's it gonna be? It's gonna be Mark Emerson crossing the start finish line first. Tanner Webb gonna be scored second. Dominic Lee, I got him scored as third. So those are our top 3. But no, Tanner Webb got a black flag. He's all the way down to 14th. Dominic Lee now in first. This is all messed up because of these guys not waiting up. So Mark Emerson, Tanner Webb getting black flag, going to the back of the pack here. So that's going to put Dominic Lee, Terry Silvers, and Eli Hinton currently scored as my top 3 drivers.
We're gonna have to wait and get the official results here and see exactly what what's going on with that finish, folks.
All right, well, I'll tell you what. This has been the VRL Southern Spoon Cup Series, and as far as I know, Dominic Lee has been our winner for the Southern Spoon 135. Kind of hard to tell what's been going on. Not 100% sure. Race control has not said anything to us yet, has not given us an official rundown. But Josh, I'll tell you, it was still an interesting race. Still some craziness. And it looks like someone was burning some tires down. Someone was burning out somewhere. A 69 and a 38. Little post-race activity. These guys having some fun. May not have got the finish they wanted, but they're still finished and having a good time. So Mark Emerson doing a burnout here.
Okay, so we do have the looks like we have the official results here. I am looking. Looks like your race winners, looking in Discord here, from I believe it's the admins of the race. Looks like Mark Emerson will be your race winner tonight.
Are you looking for a streamer?
Dominic
one that has a Jolly Roger hanging behind him, and one that streams from the pits.
Terry
maybe sometimes finishes
in
a race
third
or two.
Place.
Well, then Outlaw 77S. So Mark Emerson, our race winner. Like I said, iRacing had control of all of our stuff there.
The yellow flag is out.
Had control of our timing sheets. And we're off. Dominic Lee is the race winner.
One lap in. That's more than I made last time.
Riding it. So Mark Emerson first. Dominic Lee second. Terry Silver's third. So man, congratulations to those guys. Hopefully we'll be able to get a word in with them. So far we have not been able to get a hold of them. So real quick, while we wait one more time, let's go through our sponsors here. SimSpeedShop.com. Make sure you check these guys out at SimSpeedShop.com. HREMotorsports.com. Elite 7 Racing, you can find them on Facebook. Virtual to Reality, look them up as well. Dirt Co Media House doing a great job supplying content for iRacing.
That's right, folks. That's Outlaw
Ohio
77S
IndyCar
on
League.
Twitch.tv.
If you are looking for an IndyCar
Sometimes
league,
I will
check these guys out. So, moving on to this, hopefully we'll get a word in with some drivers.
Well, right now, KR, man, we have Dominic Lee, who finished second place this afternoon. Dominic Lee is in the booth with us. Dominic Lee, do you have a copy?
Yes, I do.
Dominic, well, I'll go ahead and interview you, Dominic, and then we'll let KR.
Hey, Andrew.
The rest of them.
Andrew, hop down.
But sorry about that, folks. They're doing their thing up there. But man, tell me about the race down there tonight. It was very interesting. You know, green flag pit stops at the beginning. Just go about through the race, and then kind of what happened there at the end when it just went domino effect from there.
Yeah, my setup all night was not the greatest. The settings I had in the car, they weren't good at all. I was good for about 2 or 3 laps, and then the car would just fall off real bad, and I rode around in the back just hoping, you know, something would fall my way. And, you know, the long green flag runs were great, but there at the end, staying out was my only hope. And, you know, I did not want to run that way, wreck the field like that, and I have to apologize to everyone that got caught up in that. And I have to furthermore apologize to Steven Turner, because we ran a truck race before that, and I had an incident with him earlier. So I have to apologize to everybody. You know, that these 2 races tonight were just awful for me, and I don't want to race like that. I don't like to race like that, and it's just sad.
Yeah, and you know it's racing, and we know it's racing. But you know, coming to the restart, you know, you had the 24 on the outside of you, the 24 being, you know, Michael Blayton, and you knew you had kind of a bad tires there, and and you know, I'm sure you understood your situation as what everybody else did, but you know, you did what you had to do. You know, we're just the broadcasters calling a race, and you know, it is what it is. But man, congratulations on second. And is there anybody you want to thank or give a shout out to for this finish tonight?
Who, me? This is Terry. Y'all talking to me?
I was actually talking to Dominic.
Yes, I would like to thank Clean Eats, Rigo's Sporting Goods, the U.S. Air Force, Hickory Harvest Foods, Zydex PCs, everybody that helps us, Forward Bite, SR Graphics, BR Photography, Haas Automation, Rush Truck Centers, just everybody. Thank you guys.
All right, Dominic, man. Good luck next week, and man, we hope for the best of you.
Thank you guys. Thank you for broadcasting. You guys put on a great show.
All right, we appreciate it, Dominic. All right, KR, you got the next one?
All right, it looks like we're gonna move on to our. Who's next? Who wants to be next? We got 2 people in here.
Well, I'm P2, so why don't you go with me?
All right, we'll go
folks.
with.
Are you looking for a streamer?
Two,
One that has a
Mr.
Jolly
Terry
Roger
Silvers?
hanging behind
Was that
him?
who it was?
One that streams
Yes,
from the
sir.
pits.
Oh man,
Maybe sometimes
what a
finishes
race!
a
We
race or two.
got to talk a little
Well,
bit
then Outlaw
about you,
77S
and
is
it
one you're
seemed to
looking
me
for.
you kind of caught me off guard for one of the restarts. There you were
Talking
sitting
into
in
a
second
camera.
row outside, and I hadn't got to mention you beforehand, but you got a good restart and you managed to stay in the top 5 for the rest of the time. So give us a little bit of rundown of your race.
Well, I started
lap,
in the
man.
back
That's more than
because
I made
this track
last
is really loose. It's super slippery, and I was just trying to clean it safe to get through some of those crashes. I was lucky to make it through about 3 of them. And then it came to that one stop there, restart where I started in second, and Eli was running in the lead. And he was running high coming out of turns 1 and 2, and I think he was saving his tires just a little bit. I was gaining on him by running more low in 1 and 2, but as the laps ticked down there, the tire wear benefited him more than me, and he was able to drive away, and I fell back to 3rd, and then 4th, and then of course that restart there on the last one, those guys in front didn't take tires, which caused the last one. Yeah, it was good race for me. I was having a great time.
And I tell you, it was an interesting race. It was a great race to watch.
That's right, folks. That's
here in
Outlaw
Atlanta in the Cup
77S
cars,
on
it's always
Twitch.tv.
crazy. Anything can
Sometimes
happen. You
I
guys,
won't
the
even
first
crash.
opening stage, caution free. Stage is over, and then the next stage felt like it had multiple cautions, like an entire race worth of cautions, and it was still great watching. So, what were you drivers saying? What were you feeling? Why was things so different from the first stage to the second?
I think everybody was just getting ready to go. It's coming towards the position time. Get in there, get up front, get a good pit. That way, if there was a caution, you could nail it, get out, and stay up front. Hopefully, avoid the cautions. That was my plan. I slowly drove the car up. After starting in the back, realizing I was faster than half the field, I decided to give it a little that next run there, that second stage, and hopefully I could pull near the front, which I did. I got a little unlucky at the end there. I think I would have won the race, to be honest with you. I was the first car on the inside line with all new tires. The number 34 was the next guy in front of me, but he was going to be starting on the outside line. I would have had the preferred line going into 1 and 2, and hopefully could have nailed it coming out of 3 and 4. Everybody in front of me was on old tires. I should have won that race, but unfortunately they spun the tires, and they kind of ruined it for a lot of people. But oh well, I'll take P2.
All right, P2 it was. Congratulations on second place. Anyone you'd like to thank? Sponsors? Say hi to mom, dad, cousins, aunts, uncles.
I want to say thanks to Steve-O. He's another streamer of mine, and we're a team stream. I think all of us got in the top 10 tonight. Me, Huge Corn, Big Corn, Schmear. Whoever else did we have? Dale, a couple other guys we had on our team. We really pulled through and did a great job. And I want to thank Andy and Jacasso and Scripted and Marcus for running the league for me. They're doing an amazing job. The website's up, looks great, and of course we couldn't be doing it without them. So yeah, thank you guys very, very much. And thank you guys for hosting as well, broadcasting the race. I'm going to go back and watch it as I fall asleep tonight.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And Josh, we'll let you take the winner.
All right, Mark Emerson, you got a copy?
Yep, I got you.
Well, Mark, man, tell me about the race. First and foremost, congratulations on your win tonight, man. Probably not the way you wanted to win it, but, I guess you'll take it. Let's go through at the start of the race, man. Long green flag run. It got the first green flag pit stops. Y'all did a fantastic job out there getting in and out with no problems. And, y'all got to the end of the stage. And then it just kind of went from there. Talk about the pit strategies and also, is this open sets or fixed?
It is a fixed setup.
Okay, it is a fixed setup. Okay, so, talk about the setup and how it felt to the track. Of course, Atlanta Motor Speedway, it's just horrendous as it is. But I'll leave the mic over to you, man, and just talk about it.
I mean, at the start of the race, I started second. I felt pretty good. I felt fast. Thought I was going to get at least a solid top 5 out of this. And then about lap 14, coming out of turn 4, my screen froze, and I ended up flying through the infield, and I hit the wall. So I had to go pit early. So I ended up pitting lap 15 instead of lap 20, which I wanted to originally. And I didn't go a lap down, which was incredibly lucky by me. And then just had to ride it out into the stage caution. And then the setups, these things they're good for about 2 laps, and then after that, it's just ice skating. It's awful.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Me and Terry were talking about the ice skate issue down there. Of course, track temperatures tonight probably didn't help. 97-degree track temperature, roughly, is what it was. So, a combination of the setup plus the track plus, the track temperatures and all that garbage, I'm sure it made for hanging on to the wheel top ice skating, challenge out there for you guys.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. And then since about lap 15, I had no game audio, so it was really hard for me to communicate with anybody in the race. So I was just kind of asking my teammate, Chicasso, Jordan Ashland, what was going on the entire time.
All right. Well, another quick question I have for you. Of course, you done did the fixed setups. The fuel window, what was y'all running on the fuel window wise?
I think it was Jordan would know more than I would. It was 30, 32, 36, somewhere around there. I can't remember exactly what it was.
Okay, so kind of low to mid 30s roughly.
Yeah,
so
roughly around there.
Okay, so we've seen a lot of people pitting about lap 21, lap 22. They were pitting a little earlier than what, but I mean, I'm sure the tires was just saying, change me. So well, congratulations on your win tonight, Marcus. Is there anybody you want to thank? Give a shout out to sponsors, mom, dad, brother, sister.
I like to thank Tanner Webb in the Southern Spoon series. He sponsored this series, made this happen. I'd like to thank Jordan Ashland, Andrew Telgenhoff, and Ricky Wall. They are the admins that race this race along with me. Thank Five, Steve-O, all of them for streaming these races, getting everybody in here, getting this thing populated, having a nice, good field. And that's it.
Well, all right, Mark, man. Well, like I said, congratulations again for your win tonight, and hopefully we'll see y'all next week or whatever. We'll get to that later on, hopefully. But congratulations on the win tonight, man. Here in Atlanta.
Thank you. Thanks for sponsoring, guys. Or not sponsoring? Yep. Thanks for sponsoring. Thanks for broadcasting, guys.
We enjoy it, don't we, KR?
Oh, broadcasting's a blast, and congratulations, Mark. You were one I was watching, had an up and down race, but in the end, you pulled it out, man.
Lots and lots of luck, I can tell you that.
All right,
yes, sir.
That was Mark Emerson, our race winner. And that's going to do it for us here at Atlanta on MaxSpeedTV. This was the Virtual Racing League. And guys, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for dealing with some of the issues that we've had throughout the night. I appreciate everyone's patience. And Josh, any closing statements you got? Something that that really stood out to you about this league?
Well, the racing, they started the race very clean, very organized, getting into the line, kind of following each other, not really battling, but kind of making passes. They started it off good. I know they're going to be probably talking about some of the accidents that did happen. Of course, like we said, we're not admins. We don't control that. That's up to the boss bands and the league owners and everything. But I think they got something good going here. Let's hope for the best of them. Of course, this track is horrendous for anybody. So it is what it is, and yeah, that's about all I got to say. It was an honor being in the booth with you tonight, though, KR. I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed watching these guys race.
Well, Josh, I appreciate you coming into the booth with me. This was Atlanta, one of my favorite tracks to drive here in iRacing on the asphalt side of things. Very tricky track, and I think these guys did a great job at it, and very glad to be a part of it. So that's going to do it for us here at MaxSpeedTV. And I appreciate it. My name, once again, it is KR Stolfus. This was Josh Medlock in the booth with me as well. And I'll tell you, we love doing this broadcast and stuff. So if you guys need us, reach out to us. You can find us on Facebook at MaxSpeedTV, or you can look through YouTube. Anyways, get a hold of us. We love doing this stuff. And anyways, that's going to do it for us tonight. Guys, have a good night, and we hope to catch you all next time.